Okay, picture this. Imagine someone walked up to you right now, this very second, and just handed you 100,000 naira. What is the absolute first thing you'd do with it? Seriously, think about it. Would you just upgrade your lifestyle for a week, or would you actually upgrade your future?
Let's be real for a second. For most people, that money just vanishes in a matter of weeks, right? It goes straight toward a new phone, some designer clothes, a weekend out, or suddenly footing the bill for everyone's shawarma. And hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with treating yourself, but today, we are here to fundamentally flip that mindset.
Welcome to this explainer. We're going to break down the exact blueprint for taking a small windfall and turning it into a rock-solid foundation for lasting wealth. We're going to stop treating that $100,000 as just spending money and start looking at it as architectural capital.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the 100,000 naira dilemma, move into the wealth architecture itself, look at a tale of two friends, and wrap up with some common wealth-building pitfalls.
All right, part 1, the 100,000 naira dilemma, consumption versus creation. You know, the biggest trap isn't just treating yourself. It's forgetting that this money shouldn't just patch up today's problems. If your goal is actual wealth, it needs to create tomorrow's opportunities. Notice the massive shift here? Instead of seeing cash as a quick fix to consume, we need to view it as a seed meant to grow for years.
Moving right along to Section 2, the wealth architecture, our 4-step blueprint.
We're basically carving that 100,000 naira pie into 4 very specific, purpose-driven slices. We are absolutely not throwing it all on one risky bet. We're diversifying it to protect, grow, and scale your financial baseline. Those slices map right onto these 4 steps. Keep an emergency fund, invest in learning a high-income skill, start a small business, and finally, invest for the long haul. Let's walk through these logically to see how dividing up this capital is a total game changer.
Okay, step 1. You take that first 20,000 naira and you immediately lock it away. Seriously, this slice is completely untouched by any investment or business ideas, and it's definitely not for enjoyment.
Because, look, life happens, right? Your phone could just give up on you tomorrow. You might fall sick. Transport costs could spike out of nowhere. Without this safety net, if you'd invested every single naira, you'd be forced to sell off your assets at a massive loss or go into debt just to survive. This 20,000 is your financial shield.
Now, step 2 is where things get really interesting. You allocate the next 30,000 naira to go completely on the offense and drastically boost your earning ability. The absolute fastest way to increase your income usually isn't through the stock market. It's by leveling up what you can personally do. If you use that 30K to master just one of these in-demand skills, like, say, video editing or web development, it can unlock a massive monthly cash flow. Picture a grad making 80,000 a month right now. They spend a few months learning video editing, grab 4 remote clients at 50K each, and boom, that's an extra 200,000 naira every single month. All sparked by one 30,000 naira investment in learning.
So it all boils down to this. Your true earning power comes from what you know how to do, not just the shiny physical tools you own. One valuable skill can easily out-earn traditional investments. It acts like a massive multiplier for your wealth.
All right, step 3. We deploy another 30,000 naira, but this time it's to launch a small business. And hey, we aren't talking about needing millions in startup capital here. We're talking about finding a daily problem people already gladly pay to solve.
You start small. Maybe you buy wholesale beverages and supply the local offices, salons, or corner shops. Or, if you've got an eye for fashion, you buy some quality clothing and sell it straight through your WhatsApp status or TikTok. You capture those modest profits, and here is the real secret. You do not spend them. You consistently reinvest those profits to expand your inventory and reach more customers. Finally, step 4. We take that remaining 20,000 naira and we park it into diversified, regulated, long-term investments. Basically, your money needs to be working while you are working. You might toss this into regulated mutual funds or carefully selected long-term assets. The goal here isn't to nervously check your balance every single morning. The goal is consistency. Adding even tiny amounts over several years is how you build actual generational wealth. And just like that, our 4-pillar architecture is fully built.
Section 3. A tale of two friends, James versus David.
Let's look at a real-life comparison to see this architecture in action. Both of these guys receive a 100,000 naira windfall. James on the left, He treats his money purely as consumption fuel. Boom, new phone, clothes, hanging out with friends. But David on the right treats his exact same 100K as architectural capital. He follows our blueprint to the letter, saves $20,000, learns a skill with $30,000, starts a service with $30,000, and invests the last $20,000.
Just look at how this plays out over time. At 3 months, James's money is just gone. Meanwhile, David is actively building. 6 months in, David has paying clients. Fast forward 5 years, James is stuck relying on his old income with zero financial growth. David, however, has built multiple streams of income. That wasn't luck, guys. It was 100% about how they managed that initial cash.
Finally, Section 4, Wealth Building Pitfalls and the Mindset Shift.
Before we wrap up this explainer, we really need to talk about the traps. If you want to build wealth, you've got to protect your capital from your own worst impulses. No gambling, hoping to magically multiply it overnight. No falling for sketchy double-your-money schemes. Definitely don't blow it on expensive stuff just to impress people. And honestly, don't just leave the whole $100,000 sitting idle in a bank account letting inflation eat it alive either.
People always ask, how much money do I need before I can start investing? But honestly, that is the wrong question entirely. The real secret is mastering the habit of making the money you already have produce more. Whether you're working with 20,000 Naira or a million, the habit of saving, learning, building, and reinvesting, it is exactly the same.
Sure, 100,000 won't automatically make you a millionaire overnight. But, as we've seen today, it can completely shift the trajectory of your financial life if you're smart about it. So, I'll leave you with this final thought for the next time a windfall comes your way. If 100,000 Naira landed in your hands today, would you just spend it, or would you have the discipline to make it start working for you?